Hello, my friends. Welcome back to our summer children's Bible stories, all about Joseph, son of Jacob. Well, you remember where we left off last week. All of Joseph's brothers had gone home except for Simeon. He was kept in an Egyptian jail. And they had found the money that they bought grain with in their grain bags. They were afraid that they'd be accused of theft. And they got home and they told Jacob all about what had happened and how this man down in Egypt who controlled the food supply was demanding that if they ever come back again, they bring Benjamin, the little son, with them, their little brother. And of course, Jacob said, No, 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 no. I've already lost my favorite son, Joseph. I'm not going to lose Benjamin, too. But time went on and the famine was still real. And the brothers said to Jacob, Look, Dad, we've got to go back to Egypt. We've got to buy more food. Finally, Jacob relented and he said, Okay, go to Egypt, talk to this man again, buy the food, and return this money that you purchased grain with last time, but mysteriously got put back in your grain bags. Bring that with you. Plus, bring more money to buy more grain. And okay, you can bring Benjamin too, but you've got to guard him with your lives. I said, Don't worry, Dad. We will. And so the brothers, including Benjamin, went back to Egypt. They brought new money for new grain. Plus, they brought the old money that had been given back to them mysteriously. And they went and into Joseph's house or his office. We're not real sure where. Probably his palace. And they said, We're back to buy more grain. Well, the house manager for Joseph escorted them all into this fancy banquet room. Joseph wasn't there. And the man in charge of the house released Simeon. He was the brother who was in prison. And all the brothers got to sit in this big banquet hall. Now, this is really strange. And so these brothers are saying something weird's going on here. This guy's demanded we bring Benjamin. Is he going to accuse us of stealing this money? Are we all in this one room where we can be attacked? What's going on? Because this isn't right. Something strange is happening. I bet that because we were violent toward Joseph, that we're going to have some revenge on ourselves. God is going to bring us to a bad end because of what we did. Well, the waitstaff brought out all kinds of magnificent foods to the brothers. And especially Benjamin. Benjamin got such a huge plate of food, probably 5 people couldn't eat it. And they're having this banquet, and they're very, very worried. Well, one of the brothers said to the man in charge of Joseph's house, he said, Look, we came here last time to buy grain, and the money we spent mysteriously appeared in our grain bags. We've returned this money. We've also brought new money to buy grain to bring home with us. Are we in some kind of trouble down here or what? We didn't intentionally steal anything. They were now very, very humble. A lot different than they were when they were attacking Joseph years ago. So they had this nice banquet. And at the end of it, they bought more grain. But now Joseph's staff not only took the grain and put in the grain bags, but he also gave the money back as well. And Joseph, he didn't eat dinner with his brothers, but he stood in another room where he could see and hear them. And he started crying because he saw how frightened his brothers were. And he remembered how frightened he was years ago. He didn't want his brothers to fear that kind of fear. And he didn't want his father Jacob to be heart-stricken, worried about little Benjamin. But he still wanted to teach his brothers a lesson. And so he's planning to teach them one more lesson. He gets his revenge, but it's kind of a gentle revenge. The brothers pack up their donkeys. They've got grain bags full of food. But he also has the money put back and replaced. And he does one more thing. But I won't tell you what that thing is until next week. That's next week's story. But remember, Joseph has power to hurt his brothers. And he's played with them a little bit. He's scared them a little bit. But he hasn't harmed them in any way. That's a lesson for all of us. When we get hurt, sometimes we want to hurt people back. But there's better ways to do things. Every day of our lives, we decide, are we people who walk with God and show grace and mercy? Or are we people who don't walk with God and want revenge and power, willing to harm others? Let's choose every day to walk with God. Do no harm. Be gracious. Be merciful. I'll tell you about a big deception next week. Joseph is he's tweaking his brothers a little bit. But that's all for this week. This is Pastor Mark, Reverend Mark William Ennis. I thank you for watching this Bible story. I invite you back next week. Please like, share, and comment. Invite your friends to see these videos. I'd like more kids to hear these Bible stories. God bless you today, this week, and every day.